Working with a bill of materials may not necessarily be the way that the model is created. So in some instances, you will need to assemble a product in a particular order, but that's not necessarily the way that you would want to display it within a bill of materials. So in the draft environment, we can sort of configure that separately, but there is also a way of doing this within the assembly. So to do that, you need to first go into the solid edge options, and once you're in an assembly, you'll get all the options relating to an assembly. So under item numbers, we can set here that we want to maintain item numbers, and we can sort of have a number of different settings, so top level only, atomic, or exploded. And we can set it up so that we have a level based numbering system, and in that sort of situation you'll have a level for the assembly, and then it will renumber based on the sub-assembly items. But I'm only interested in the exploded view scenario here, so we go OK on that. And what we need to do from here is on this main assembly, the top level assembly, if we right mouse click and go to occurrence properties, this is where we obviously can choose whether we want parts or whatever to be displayed in reports, in drawing views, physical properties, and so on. So you can turn all that on in here, but now that we've turned on that option in the solid edge options, you'll see that we have an item number in here. So basically this is geared towards the order in which they appear in the assembly. So number 3 is the third item down here, so it sort of jumped from here down to here and ignores the extra sub-assembly items until the end. So what you can do from here is you can renumber this. So if we right mouse click and we can go next available number, that's going to then sort of drop it down to the end of the list, so that you can reorder the items. You can't actually just rename something to an existing name, and you'll see that it's got a conflicting number. Obviously it doesn't allow it, so then you can sort of then go in and renumber this one, for example. So we're just going to switch those two around, and then that becomes all well and good. So, you know, you might need to drop some of these numbers down outside of the standard structure, and then you can add in the new numbering system as you wish from there. So once you've done that, then when we do our reporting, it will use that, you can get it to use that item numbering system. While on the topic of bill of materials, you may also want to include something such as oil, which has no graphical connection. So I've added in a part into the assembly, just done a create in place and done no geometry for it. But if I go into the file properties, so right mouse click, go file properties, and in here you'll see that I've added in a couple of custom fields. I'll get the right part. So if you go in here and then I right mouse click and go to file properties, you'll see I've added in a couple of extra custom properties. One's called SE underscore assembly underscore quantity underscore override, and I've set that to 1. So that means it is going to override the current value. And then I've added in a second custom variable which is se underscore assembly underscore quantity underscore string, and I've put the value that I want associated with this part. So I want 3 liters of oil. So you apply and close that. Then if we go to reports, for example, we can look at exploded bill of materials. If we go to format, I can go into options, and there is the item number, so we can add that across, and we can move that up above the indented level, so you can see that the level number is indented. Go OK, and you'll see that we now have oil in here as a extra value. So that is how we do that